A reading from the book of Proverbs. A perfect wife, who can find her? She is far beyond the price of pearls. Her husband's heart has confidence in her. From her he will derive no little profit. Advantage and not hurt she brings him all the days of her life. She is always busy with wool and with flax. She does her work with eager hands. She sets her hands to the staff. Her fingers grasp the spindle. She holds out her hand to the poor. She opens her arms to the needy. Charm is deceitful and beauty empty. The woman who is wise is the one to praise. Give her a share of what her hands have worked for, and let her works tell her praises at the city gates. The word of the Lord. Blessed are those who fear the Lord and walk in his ways. By the labor of your hands we shall eat. You will be happy and prosper. Your wife, like a fruitful vine in the heart of your house, your children like shoots of olive around your table. Indeed, thus shall be blessed the name who feared the Lord. May the Lord bless you from Zion, in a happy Jerusalem, all the days of your life.
From St. Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians. You will not be expecting us to write anything to you, brothers, about times and seasons, since you know very well that the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night. It is when people are saying how quiet and peaceful it is, that the worst suddenly happens, as suddenly as labor pains come on a pregnant woman. And there will be no way for anybody to evade it. But it is not as if you live in the dark, my brothers, for that day to overcome you like a thief. No, you are all sons of light and sons of the day. We do not belong to the night or to darkness. So we should not go on sleeping, as everyone else does, but stay wide awake and sober. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus spoke this parable to his disciples. The kingdom of heaven is like a man on his way abroad, who summoned his servant and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third one, each in proportion to his ability. Then he set out. The man who had received the 5 talents promptly went and traded with them and made 5 more. The man who received 2 made 2 more in the same way. But the man who had received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. Now a long time after, the master of those servants came back and went through his accounts with them. The man who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 more. Sir, he said, you entrusted me with 5 talents. Here are 5 more that I have made. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have shown you can be faithful in small things. I will trust you with greater. Come and join me in your master's happiness. Next, the man with the 2 talents came forward. Sir, he said, you entrusted me with the 2 talents. Here are 2 more that I have made. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have shown you can be faithful in small things. I will trust you with greater. Come and join in your master's happiness. Last came forward the man who had the 1 talent. Sir, he said, I have heard you were a hard man, reaping when you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered. So I was afraid, and I went off and hid your talent in the ground. You wicked and lazy servant, so you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered? Well then, you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and on my return I would have recovered my capital with interest. So now take the talent from him and give it to the man who has the 5 talents. For to everyone who has will give him more, and he will have more than enough. But from the man who has not, even what he was taken will be taken away. As for the good, for nothing servant, throw him out in the dark, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. The Gospel of the Lord. Once again, the Church today provides us with another parable from Jesus, helping us to reflect upon our life here on earth. The parable applies also to us. Consider and reflect upon this story that Jesus condemned not the person who did anything wrong. The one who had 1 talent didn't do anything wrong. He's just conserved. He was lazy. He didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, with the 1 talent, with the gift that God has given him, he didn't do anything. He was lazy. He was uninterested in life. There is no creature on earth that could honestly say that God did not give him any talent. We are all created with talents in our lives. We were born full of the beauty of God. So there is always something beautiful in us. The problem is whether we go and search for it, take it out, create it, and develop it. This is what God wants from us, because He respects our freedom. Those who had 5 talents and those who had 2 talents, I am sure they made many mistakes in their lives, as we all do. But they risked, they were courageous, they went out, and they were not afraid to risk or to make mistakes. We all have been endowed with talents. We all have been created with beautiful things in our lives. One gift, great gift that we have is our faith. God has given our faith. But how are we using our faith? Are we afraid to speak about God Are we afraid to show that we believe in God, that we are Christians, that we go to church on Sunday? Okay, today we know the difficulty that this pandemic has created. But at the same time, with our way of living, do we truly show that we believe that God has given us this gift of faith that we need to pronounce and show to other people who do not believe or people who are not living their faith? The good example that we give. This is one of the greatest talents that we have. Then besides, we have many others. Arts, sports, whatever things that we have done in life. Those are all gifts that God has given us. Intelligence, character, building, and so many gifts that we know about. How much have we used this for the benefit of others? Not only for our self, not only for our own glorification, but for the help of others, for the needy, for those who may not be gifted. Because you see, even the parable itself, there was one who was given 5 gifts, another one was given 2, and another one 1. We were not given the same gifts by God, or everyone has the same amount of gifts, but we all have some gift, even one gift. That is enough. And that, as we said, the greatest gift that we have is that we have been born in the faith of Christ, that we believe that we are disciples of Christ. This we should not take this for granted, but be grateful to God that we practice our faith and be grateful to what we are. And we should do our utmost to use this gift as best as possible for the benefit of others. And then the fruit is at the end. When we, at the end of our time on earth, here on earth, we would like to hear God telling us, well done for what you have done on earth. Well done. You have used well your gifts. You have done your job. You are called for many things, and you have tried your best to develop the talents that I have given you. That is something that we would definitely would like to hear in our last judgment. Let's say this prayer. God, I thank you for the graces you have bestowed upon me, especially the gift of being entrusted with the very heart of God, who considers me to be an unfailing prize. I am sorry for those times I have failed to appreciate and use those treasures, the times I have turned my back on grace, turned toward fear, and failed on my faithfulness. Come to me ever more assertively in my weaknesses, so that I might know your strength and return to you with full graciousness.